Shalom, brothers and sisters. All praises to Yahuwah. My name is Brother Kuya, and today I will be presenting to you the calendar for the seventh month. All right, the seventh month is a very important month and it's a very busy month for the ones who are following the lunar events. All right, what we normally do here, each month, I present the calendar. You get your blank calendar. You can download it from Calendar Lab. Any style you want. I normally use this style right here because I want it to stay consistent. You get the calendar from your previous month, so you'll be getting the calendar from the 6th month. And we will also be using pen and paper and the scriptures also to follow along and to see, so we can check behind ourselves, see if we made any mistakes along the way. So get all the stuff together, and I pray that you learn something and get something out of this and continue to follow along. For you new people, thank you so much for tuning in. And for you regulars, thank you for coming back. So if you get your calendar from your 6th month, you'll see where the 7th month starts, the line where the 7th month starts. We'll always take the month, the line where the new month start from the old calendar and bring it up to the top line right here on your blank calendar. Every month we're gonna have to do this. You got to do this every time. Take this week right here, well, not week, but this line, because it's the beginning of a new lunar month. We're gonna take this line, bring it up to here, so you don't have to be lose it or pass out because you don't have the calendar for the next month, because it's always gonna be a few days on the previous month when the new month comes in. You see right here, we can use this calendar right here for a couple of days or a couple of weeks until we get the new moon verified. All right, normally within a day, the next day it's confirmed, it's been verified, it's been spotted. So you can use this calendar for a day or so right here, and until we get the new one out. So this line right here and this line right here, normally what I would do is I would just copy and paste it right here and take my blank calendar and move it and put it on my blank calendar. Just copy and paste it right up here on my calendar for my 7th month. All right, what we have here is your numbers from the second to the last week. On here right here on the 6th month, so these are your numbers here. That will be the 8th, August the 8th. This here is the 28th day of the 6th month, and this here is your 6th working day. All right, so what you're gonna have to do is you have to put your cursor right here between this to separate this, and you are going to space bar, space over until this number 6 right here, the number 6 is going to drop down to here. Okay, you're going to put your cursor here, and then you can put between it, your 28 is going to end up over here. All right, your number 6 is going to end up here. So that's so the number 8 is your August the 8th. All right, 28 is the 28th day of the 6th month. And this number 6 right here is the 6th working day of that week. You understand so far? And what we're going to have to do each day, we're going to add a number. We're going to add a 9. We're going to put a 29 and a 7. And then we're going to go through the same process again. And we're going to put your cursor between right here these two numbers. You can space, 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 space. Then you're up to number 7. It's going to drop down to here. And then you're going to have to hit enter. Put your cursor behind here. Hit enter and drop that 7 down to right here. Same thing with this 6. The 6 is going to end up right here. You see how we spaced over? All right, we spaced. We put a cursor here. And we spaced over. Space, space, space. All right, your number 6 drop. Now you're going to take your cursor. You're going to put it behind that 6 right here. And you're going to hit enter maybe 3 times. If the 6 goes out of sight and you don't see it anymore, you hit it too many times, just hit backspace to bring it back up and save it. That way your 6 won't go back. You always keep that. All right. So we're gonna hit enter about 2 or 3 times. Let's say 3 times, and this should bring our 6 down to right here. All right. We see what our number 6 is, right? I hope I'm explaining this slow enough for you to understand, because I know I could get excited sometime and just lose and go to talking jibber jabbish. But anyway, this is your August the 8th. This is the 28th day of the 6th month, and this number 6 here is your 6th working day. All right. I'm gonna have all this stuff over here, what these numbers mean on this side later on. All right. So what we do here is, since we have these 3 numbers, we add 1 plus 1. We should have a 9, 29, and 7. Add 1. Each time you move over a block, you add 1. Wherever it is located, just add 1. You see what I'm talking about? It's very simple. It's not hard at all. You just got to make sure you keep your head together and know what day, you know, just keep your head together. It's not hard to do, but it's time consuming if you want to make sure you're right. So what we do now, we got to do, we're going to type the numbers in, and we got a space between them. I always put a space between them to separate it. Put our cursor here and space over. We're going to have our 29 will be here. And then we're going to put our, and then once this 7 drops here, we're going to put our cursor right here. We're going to hit enter 3 times, and our 7 is going to drop here. So, but first, let's get our 7 in place first. We spaced over, and like I say, once you space, you put your cursor behind here, space, 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 how many ever times the space, depending. And then once the 7 drops from over here on this end, once the 7 drops, the cursor goes here, enter, 7, boom, right there. All right. All right, we got all our numbers in these 2 blocks right here. You're gonna have to pretty much continue to do the same thing over and over and over. Like I say, these 2 lines right here from the previous month, what I do, I just copy and paste them right here so I can eliminate about 2 lines, but the other 4 lines I'm gonna have to do. All right, so your 7 is here. So right here is, if you notice on your 6th month, you had Shabbat at even. So you can type that in right here. You can type it in, but don't hit enter. It'll type and it'll drop. Okay. So if you hit enter and you got this up here, this 6 is going to drop. So the more stuff you put in here between these right here, the more you're gonna have to abbreviate. Okay. And you can have to put your abbreviations on this side over here, you know, and seeing exactly what does that mean. All right. So make sure when you're typing, try not to hit enter when you're typing in your like Shabbat at evening, whatever. Like the Shabbat at even, New Moon Day, and the Feast of Trumpets at even. So I'm gonna have a whole lot of that right in here. All right. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to explain it on this side. But try not to hit enter. If you do hit enter, this 7 is going to go away. So just type it in the best you can. All right. Normally, what I tell you, what I told you before is, whatever position your numbers is in, you add one. But in this case right here, the new moon has been spotted. Okay, the new moon has been spotted in this evening. So instead of you having a 30 over here, you will have the number one, because that's the first day of the month, right? So we are going to put a cursor right here, and we are going to tap over and bring that one here, because that is the first day of the new month, first day of the seventh month. Okay, brothers and sisters, you follow me so far? All right, so if you are, you see how we tapped over? We put our cursor between our uh, 10th day of August. All right, and then we space, 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 space. You got that one there and the seven drop. Cursor here, boom. And then we're going to come and bring the seventh month. We're going to bring all this right here down to here. Okay? Pretty simple, right? It's not too hard as long as you got to pay attention to what you're doing, because the months, let me see, get my pointer out now. See, this is a new month now. It's not the previous month. So your numbers is going to change. Your number is going to change. So this is the last day of the 6th month. So you start on the first day of the 7th month. All right. And see, don't forget you have to put all of your explanation days in here. You're writing, you got to write it in there. And so you don't want none of this stuff to go out of sight. If it goes out of sight, it's no good, because you're going to lose people. My main concern is here to help people that don't know. A lot of you people have been following me for a while. A lot of brothers and sisters, you got it pretty good. And I'm gonna ask for, I want a calendar from the people that's been following me for next month. Next month, the 8th month don't have any feast days in it. It just have regular Sabbath. So I'm asking you now, I want a calendar from the people that's been following me, and so I will know that you are learning and paying attention. All right, we can move on. Okay, so we got our 7th month here, but now we got to put out our words in. Now, brothers and sisters, this is something I want you to look at real quick, pay attention to, because I had to look at it again and double check behind myself. But here we have our regular weekly Shabbat, which is the 4th Shabbat of the 6th month. But also the next day, here we have a Shabbat also. See here, SD Shabbat, we have Shabbat 2 days in a row. All right, the reason for that is on the first day of the 7th month shall be a Shabbat. All right, it's also the Feast of Trumpets. Normally it's be just New Moon Day, beginning of the month, but we got combined in all three right here today. It's Shabbat, Feast of Trumpet, and New Moon Day. All these is combined on the same day. Okay, that's why you see Shabbat on both of these days right beside each other. Now, you can have a feast that day. This day right here don't mean that you can go out there and pressure wash your dump truck, and you can hire somebody to do some stuff for you and cutting your grass and all this stuff like that. No, only work you do on this day is no serve out work, and it's a feast day. Anything you can do to set up, you can set up your tent, move your picnic tables and straighten out, clean your grill, anything like work like that is what you can be done on this day. Anything that got to do something with the feast. No serve out work should be done. Okay. And brothers and sisters, on this line here, um, you see we have our first Shabbat. We had a Shabbat here. This is a high holy day. But this is our first regular weekly Shabbat. Okay, because he had to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th day you rest. All right. But in the book of Leviticus, after you have your first Shabbat, which will be the 8th day of the month, He said on the 10th day will be the Day of Atonement. It starts from even to even. All right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23. It's the ninth day even to even. So this will be your 10th day. This is the day that you afflict your souls. It's the day of affliction. This day you do nothing. It is also a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath rest. You don't do nothing on this day. You fast. You don't wash your clothes. You don't wash dishes. You don't eat. You don't drink. You pray and afflict your soul on that day. It's a day of affliction. And you atone, it's a day of atonement. All right. I'm not going to go into details on this day because Brother David can explain these days way better than I can. I can tell you, can explain it, but he's a better speaker than I am. I'm just here to make sure that we have the right days, get the right days lined up. All right, so on this day, do no work at all. No servile work, no work at all. Servile means service, doing service for somebody else, working for somebody else. It's servile. On this day, no work is to be done at all. On our next line here, we have uh, full moon. All right, full moon is here. We also have the first day. It's also the Sabbath day. A Sabbath day, the 15th day of the month. It's 14 days after the spotting of the new moon. It's a Sabbath day. All right. And this for the 7th month is also the Feast of Booths. All right. The Feast of Booths. Okay. The Feast of Booths is the day you're supposed to build your hut, uh, your tent, your booth. They call it tabernacles. I don't like to use tabernacles, but anyway, you can build that. Like I say, I'm not gonna go in detail on this because Brother David he can explain this better than I can. But on this particular day, no servile work can be done. Servile means working to going to your job. I drive a dump truck. I am not going to drive that dump truck that day. I'm not going to do no work on that day. Not going to do no paperwork considering the day before or the day after that. That day is a non-working day. All the work you do on that day is pertaining to the feast. All right, our next line, we have the last day of the Feast of Booths. Okay, have last day of Feast of Booths. The Feast of Booths should last 7 days. One, it starts on the 15th day of the 7th month. So that'll be day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the last day of Feast of Booths. And on the 8th day, which is the regular Shabbat, that's what it is, a regular Shabbat. Then we'll go back to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working days, 7. But you notice up here on the third Shabbat is when when Pope Greg's calendar changes over. Right here, it leaves August and goes into September. Like I say, these days, you can make these calendars. They're not hard, but you got to make sure you stay on top of your game. Because you got to know how many days is in that month, and then you got to make sure you spot the renewed moon on the right day to go into the next month of the lunar month. Okay? It's not hard. Stay on top of it. All right, this line here is showing us our fourth Shabbat. This is a regular weekly Shabbat. Okay? This is day 7 of our work day. You have, after the third Shabbat, the Feast on Unleavened Bread, you have your third Shabbat. You're off that day. You don't have to go to work. Then after that, you work 6 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working days. On the 7th day is Shabbat. All right. Then what you're gonna do then? You go to work. You go back to work, and then this day here, you should look for the new moon, because you can start looking for it on day 29. In the book of, is it Jubilees or Enoch? I don't know. They said 28 days. I haven't seen the 28th day yet, but between 29 and 30 days. So you can start looking for it on this day. The calculation that I have, we will have a 30-day month. So therefore, it'll skip from Tuesday, it'll skip Wednesday to go to Thursday to be a new moon day. All right, so that new moon should come out on the 30th day, which would be that Wednesday. So that Wednesday at even should start your 8th month. It's projected now. Now this could change because, like I say, I could be off. It could change. But right as of now, it's projected to be um, on September the 8th would be the new moon, which would be the 30th day of the 7th month for us. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap this up. I don't want to keep y'all too long. All right, since we have projected, let's say it does come out on that Wednesday evening, projected new moon day, it starts of the 8th month. So new moon day is not a work day, it's not a Sabbath day. All right, but what you do is you go to work the next day. You work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days shall thou work. On the 7th day will be a Shabbat, and you rest on that day. These are projected days. These are not in concrete. They're not written down because I could be wrong. Okay, so that's why I say check behind Brother Kuyar, because he's not perfect, a long shot. And so you go back to work after you find these days out. Go back work 1, 2. Then your new calendar is gonna start. All right. So everything on this side is pretty much self-explanatory. All right. If you're making this calendar here, what we're gonna have is month and year. What you can do, you click on this right here. You can highlight. This is gonna be a box gonna come up around this right here. Just type in anything you want in that box. It's gonna be, I think this is what this says, month. Click out, delete that month, click out of it, backspace it, type in what you're gonna type. Down here says year, click it, click on it, it's a box, delete it, and then put in the year down here. These right here, you can't go so big because it's gonna start disappearing. Try to get just as much information on this side as you can, okay? So that way, if you get whatever information you got on this side, once they read this right here, they can refer back to this side, and see they'll understand exactly what's going on. So that's the best I could tell you on this month right here. It's a very busy month right here for us people. All right, make sure you tune in to Brother Davis' channel and get a better explanation on these feast days. Okay, so I pray that everybody got understanding of what's going on. If you didn't, hit me up an email. Shalom.